I do love that bit at the end. Sounds like Tequila getting out of bed in the morning, getting ready to face today and face what's coming. How are you guys? Good evening. Yes, we're back.
That's quiet for me.
You're a heap of shite. Can I just get this out there? Air Telecom, you're a heap of shite. You couldn't run a Wi-Fi party in a brothel. That's how bad you are.
How long was your net down for?
3 days.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah,
I told you they were there last week, damn it. I told you what they were like.
Yeah, Dave did as well. I'm waiting for I told you so from him. Right, just quickly, can anyone hear any crackling?
No, you're fine.
I'm always more asking the people watching, Philip, as well. If you can, my headphones are getting a bit of crackly. I think I'm having one of those weeks. Mr. Brady, how are you? Haven't seen you in a short time. How are you keeping?
Yeah, I'm all right. All right. So suffering from post-season depression at the minute, but anyway, let's hope that that won't last too long. We get a few signings in. Glad to report that the team got home safely from Australia. Anyway.
Yeah, well, Angie's still in. Did you see?
Oh, he's still there. Yeah, he's still there.
Did you see his interview, Philip, on AIA?
Yeah.
Very good, wasn't it?
Ready? It was, yeah. It was. It was good. Yeah. Very good. I mean, the guy is just there. He's not going anywhere.
No, he's not. Tequila, how are you, sir? Thank you for helping me out for the last few days while Philip's been busy doing some commercial top THFC Till I Die mystery work. So thank you very much for helping us out. But how are you, sir?
You're welcome, Dummy. Yeah, I'm all right. I was ill last week. I'm finally, for the first time in like 10 days, don't feel that bad finally. So there we are. Not bad.
That's good. Let's see who's in the chat, guys. And what we're going to do is basically we're going to go over the last few days' news for you guys and sort of try to catch up what's been going on. We are going to talk about the Europa League final last night. Atlanta winning, becoming the first side to beat the German Bayern Leverkusen all season. What did they do right? What other teams couldn't do for the whole season? We're going to go over the England squad. That's the 33 that have been picked for the European Championships. Two big people out of it, Rashford and Henderson. More for Tequila's point of view. What does he think of that?
Yeah.
We're going to go over also the Europa League, guys. We've got a little bit of breaking news today as well. Spurs are Spurs looking at Andrea Cambiaso from Juventus. We've got another one as well that Boniface as well been looked at by Spurs. He sounds like a Bond villain. I'm half expecting Philip to get up his Walter PPK and say, "I'm Philip, I'm Brady, Philip Brady." Do you know?
Yeah, that's the guy from Bayer Leverkusen, isn't it?
Do you know what? My jokes usually make people laugh. Come on, guys. Come on. This is.
I was getting ready to laugh until I looked at your subscribers, and on YouTube, apparently you're on 839 subscribers. YouTube is totally balked. It was balked yesterday, and it continues to be balked. So they not believe
I'm on
any of these numbers.
839. You said.
Yes, because I've got the chat. I've got the YouTube stream open as well and muted, so I can see the chat, and it says you have 839 subscribers, which I know isn't right. So YouTube is doing funky things yesterday in other streams. It continues to show.
Give us 2K. Give us me and Philip and Tequila to win 2K.
No, it's taken nearly 1,000 off you. And it also says there's one watching now, which trust me, there's more than one watching. Because I was looking at TalkSport a little bit yesterday, who've got like 1.5 million, and they were doing a live show and they had 24 viewers. They've got 1.5 million subscribers.
There's something wrong.
Yeah. We've got Scotty Boy says, "I've heard a wee sneaky conversation that Euros are trying to get Matt O'Reilly hands off." He says that is one of the. Player. That is one of the rumors. We've got Stephen Cartwright. G'day, fellas. Hope everyone is well. Yeah, everyone is grand. We've got Scotty 2 Boys says, "What an introduction, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you. That intro was designed by ones truly, by somebody off Twitter, but I sort of put the music to it. Thanks to Colin and Bobby for the Full-Time Sports Network. We've got Wayne Bonner. Go on, Philip. We've missed you doing these, sir.
Good evening, one and all. Hope you're all well. Sorry, my throat's not good enough to do the full thing. Sorry. I've been talking too much today. So.
You don't sound your usual chirpy self, Philip. I have to say.
Yeah, it was an awful lot happening today, so I'm kind of, I'm grand. I'm fine. Yeah, fine.
Yeah. Don't worry, there's no rumblings in the background.
To look forward to. I've no matches to look forward to.
What do you do, Philip? You've got these shows to look forward to.
Matches. That's what I'm saying. No,
look, we're all in the same boat. We've got no matches towards July, so you've got to look forward to what you can look forward to.
Thousands of names you've never heard of, Phil. That's what you got to look forward to. Thousands of transfer rumors that will never happen. That's what you.
I think we must be up to about 750 at the minute, and it's only day one.
Big up to John Fitzpatrick. Big up my Irish brother. He says, "Big up Dermot Phil, all the way from Santa Pozna."
Oh, lovely! Wow. A week in Santa Ponza would be lovely, wouldn't it?
Yeah. You should have took us, John. You should have stuck us in your suitcase. We could do this stream live from there. Wouldn't that be lovely?
From the suitcase.
Yeah. Big up Gerard O'Connor. I believe we're listening to offers for the Brighton boy. There is rumours going around. We might be or we might not be, but who knows? We've got Scotty. Hands off to Matty O'Reilly, guys. As much as love you, Spurs. Well, look, we'll see what can be done. And then we've got Dragon D Nuts. He says, "I am the one." LOL. Okay.
He thinks he's Neo from the Matrix.
Yeah, he is. Now, guys, look quickly on Europa League last night. Philip, were you surprised by the result? Because what I saw of it, Atlanta played very, very well.
I'm not really. Like the Bayer Leverkusen, the Bayer never losing, as they call them, had to come to an end at some stage. And to be honest with you, they looked absolutely out on their feet last night. They were a yard shorter, a yard slower than Atalanta. And I have to say, I'm delighted for the Atalanta manager. It's his first trophy ever in 30-something years managing at the senior level. So it's an absolutely brilliant achievement for him. And the funny, I fancy them to do it because they did the number on Liverpool in the semi-final, which wasn't easy. They went to Anfield and won, which very few teams do. So they were a good side. And if anything, I think Bayer Leverkusen underestimated them. I think they thought they were invincible. And by Jews, they were not. And as for Adama Lukman, I mean, that guy has been around the houses for the last 8-9 years, playing different clubs. For him to come along and score a hat-trick in the European final, that's absolutely brilliant to see a young lad like that doing. Like, he's been at Leicester, he's been at Fulham, with Leipzig, several other clubs. And he's 3 brilliant goals. Really, really good goals last night.
Yeah, and Keela, look, were you disappointed that Brian Leverkusen couldn't do it? Because I was sort of rooting for them to go the whole season unbeaten. Would have been their 50th game. So are you slightly disappointed it didn't get to 50?
Yeah, I think when you get that far to kind of doing like almost like a wonder season, whatever you want to call it, a perfect season, to just fall just so short. Yeah, I mean, but then again, at Atalanta though, I mean, I think Liverpool took them for granted as well, and they've been a decent team for a few years. You got to remember, we got Romero from them. They've been a decent team for a few years now. So maybe they shouldn't have been. It shouldn't have been that much of a shock, but no. And that Edison looked good as well. If we are actually in for that player, he does look good.
Can I say one thing? One player I am delighted for that got beaten last night is Granit Xhaka. That little scrum deserves everything that's coming to him for his days at Arsenal. So I'm not surprised. I'm not sorry for him at all.
All I'm going to say is congratulations to my sister-in-law who did a fantastic job up there being the guard and looking after all them fans. And
it was a really well organised. I was listening to it this morning, how they did it. Although I forgot to tell you a good story. A friend of mine flew to London this morning. He was flying to London at 7 o'clock. As soon as he got to the airport at about 5 o'clock, and all you could see was that Atalanta fans sleeping all over the airport. They were using it as a hotel. I suppose they were on the beer till 2 o'clock and then headed to the airport.
Yeah, but fair play to her. She was up there yesterday, my sister-in-law. Well done, and to all the guards that did a fantastic job there last night. So I've got to give her a shout out. Well done, huh?
There was German police in as well. A lot of German police were, I'm sure, Italian ones as well. To keep an eye, they'd know who the troublemakers were, and they'd be trying to keep an eye out for them. So very well done to the FAI and all the authorities. I must say, it was an absolute picture way of doing things. Really well.
You guys not tempted to go there?
Wouldn't have got tickets. Really?
Wouldn't have got a ticket. It does prove the FAI can be organised in some things.
Yeah, but you also know. Do you know it was also in Dublin last night? Several hundred Liverpool fans who booked their flights way back, thinking they'd be in the final.
I couldn't believe that.
Bye.
And not one bit of trouble.
Well, not that I've heard of. No, I'm sure there was something like, it would need to be a major incident before they get in. I'm sure there's a few glasses smashed and a few boys thrown out of pubs and stuff, which that's normal. Wouldn't mind that.
Yeah. But no, look, congratulations to Atlanta. Now into the Champions League because of winning the Europa League. So congratulations to them. We've got the Conference League final next Wednesday. Also, guys, the FA Cup Saturday. A bit of history could be made on Saturday. Manchester City could become the first side ever to win back-to-back league and FA Cup doubles. Look, just put aside our Tottenham allegiance. But if you're looking at it from a football fan's point of view, are we watching something? I think we're watching something special when it comes to this Manchester City side and Pep. We are watching something. We are watching something special, though, aren't we?
We are, but it's built on fraud.
But look, I'm not. We don't know that. We really don't.
We do.
We're innocent until proven guilty. That's
but they've been found guilty already and got off on a technicality, So, it is a special team, and no doubt about it, right? But it's the way they've got there is what sticks in people's throats, And I think a lot of people will never give City the credit they would have got if their team had been built generically rather than by the money the way it was,
So, would you say then Fergie Fergie was more successful at United because he did it the right way, but Pep's not going to get any credit because people above him done it the wrong way?
You go first on that one.
Yeah, it's a tough one because I think initially, yes, like with what Fergie did when he first built the team with kids, when he had all the kids coming through. But then you've got to look at the continued success. They were the version of Man City when it comes to financial clout. They had more money than Arsenal did. It wasn't really until Chelsea came around with Mourinho and Abramovich where they met their match financially and were challenging that way. And so the point is that Ferguson, Man United were always the biggest spenders. They built on what they made, and that's what I think is special. But they always had more money than anyone else until Chelsea came around. So are they that era's version of Man City to a certain degree because of the money and the financial clout? But the difference is Man United kind of earned it themselves because of the success they had. So they built this whole fan base around the world, which is different to what obviously City and Chelsea before them have done. They were not the same size clubs of Man United become, but that's how I look at it anyway. I still think Fergie's the best manager of the Premiership era.
Do you know what, Philip? I was wondering. Do you know the shows we used to do, the best 10, whatever? Do you remember we used to do them podcast? We need to do one on the best 5 Premier League managers from all over football, from all through the years, and actually do our own 5 lists and do that because I think we might come up with 5 different managers, as number one.
Well, I will certainly put Fergie miles ahead of Pep Guardiola for one or two reasons. One, Pep Guardiola can never build up a team from the academy. All he wants is ready-made superstars, right? Alex Ferguson brought, as you keep going, Dermot, brought the kids in and was successful with the kids. That's something Fergie. Okay, Guardiola's done it on occasion. He brought in that Cole Palmer, but then got rid of him. There's a few young players at the club that have broken through, but normally he will only go for players that are ready-made, like De Bruyne and what do you call him? What's the guy? Oh God, I can't think of his name anyway now. But one thing I just noticed, we say that United or City are all the money bags. You know that City's wage bill per week is less than Manchester United.
Yeah, well, there was a thing here, Philip. Where is it? I saw we've got big up to books. It says Man United were outspent 7 out of 10 years in the 90s. Blackburn, Newcastle,
just to go back to that wage. Just to go back to that wage thing, Dermot. Manchester United's wage bill is $3,821,000 per week, right? That's mind-boggling. City's is 3,705,000. Right? To give you an example, the lowest, Burnley, 707,000 a week. And Tottenham are 7th, 2,130,000. So money bags and all, Man City are not spending the money on the players wage-wise, but they're just spending it on transfers.
Yeah. Well, can I put this question to you then, Peter? Meta Football TV, big up. It's a guard. Pep is number one. What he did at Barca with the academy players defies Phil's comment. What I mean,
well, I'm only concentrating on Manchester City at the moment because that's all that he's mainly bought in his players to the City. But sure, if you're bringing in players at 100 million, I could manage it. I could win the league with a team like that. Really, I mean, it's. I reckon it's the guys that are operating on a shoestring. I mean, the likes of Leicester when they did it. I know they got a lot of assistance from other clubs that year, but I would love to get back to that where it doesn't become like a Celtic and Rangers situation. The Man City are going to win the league every bloody year. It's going to get boring.
Yeah, it's the same for the FA Cup. I mean, to answer your question, Dermo, I've got no dog in the fight to say, but I hope United win because I don't want to see the domination of City doing everything. I find it quite dull. I think it dulls the league, it dulls the cups when it's the same team, or even the same two teams. So,
but you can be sure there's a crowd of people in Newcastle this weekend cheering hell for Manchester City. Because if Man United win the FA Cup on Saturday, Newcastle don't get Europe this season.
Yeah.
I mean, look, who do you think's going to win? By the way, guys, who's your money on?
Well, City, pretty obvious.
What would your score predictions be for Saturday?
3-1, 4-1, something like that.
Philip,
I'm going to go absolutely against the grain here. And when I saw how lucky Manchester United were to get out of the semi-final against Coventry, I think their name is on the cup. I think they're going to get City on an off day. I might just sneak it.
I'm going for 2-1 United.
Yeah, I'm looking at Leverkusen last night after winning the league and suddenly flat as a pancake the next game. So that can happen with City as well,
Well, see, they could have won the treble last night because they've already won the domestic cup in Germany plus the league.
No, they're playing that this weekend. Well, they must have won the league cup or something.
Yeah, I read last night somewhere in Football London that if they won the UEFA Cup, they would have done a treble. A historic treble.
I think everybody was assuming they're going to win the cup. I'll just check in. As far as I know, the Scottish or the German cup final is on Saturday or Sunday. Let me just check here now.
Big up to David Clark. He says Ferguson bribed youth players' parents who were at other academies by saying he would buy the parents a house. It's well known. Only a handful came through their own academy. Beckham, Spurs, and others. So, I don't know. I don't
know now. It sounds like a Brian Clough situation, doesn't it? By the way, it's Kaiserslautern versus Bayern on Friday evening.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
evening at 7:00. So
I saw it. I got it on the other monitor, so I did see that. Buck says Fergie's success with Aberdeen beating the cartel at Rangers, Celtic, beating Real Madrid in the Euro final. Joe's winning the Champions League with Porto. Klopp took Dortmund to beat Bayern in 2011, 2012, and 2012, 2013. So there is other managers out there. Jurgen Klopp retired, Philip, from Liverpool. I know not your biggest fan.
Listen, good luck to him. I mean, he's done well to walk away. He's a brave man to walk away. He could have stayed there another couple of seasons and done. Probably could have won something with Liverpool. But I don't know, for whatever reason he chose to go. And good luck to the fella.
Do you think the Premier League's going to miss him?
Oh yeah, he's a character, if nothing else. I know Sky. I don't know what Sky Sports are going to do. They're going to fill about 15 hours a week of game time they normally give to Jurgen Klopp.
It's true.
So,
yeah. I just want to welcome a few more people. Big up to Terry White. He says, big up, gents. We've got big up to Meta as well. Big up to you. Big up to David Clark. Thank you for the comment. We've got big up to Peter as well. Big up, Peter. Great to see you in. Now, guys, Wednesday, Tuesday, the England Turkey tree were announced.
Yay.
Now, this is more your line, Tequila. Nothing to do with me and Philip. We couldn't give a shit who you pick.
I know.
That's why I'm sticking myself at the bottom, because this is your territory. To be fair, Wigan's still going to beat the shit out of you on the 7th of September.
Yeah.
By the way, how many players have dropped from this squad in 2 weeks' time? What has come back to?
It goes down to 26?
26, yeah.
26, right, okay.
So let's go with the people that are out, guys. Jordan Henderson's been dropped.
Thank God.
Rashford's been dropped.
Thank God.
So on them two alone, Tequila, I'll start with you and then go to you. I think he made a mistake dropping Henderson. You know, Rashford I can understand, but Henderson's had a good end of the season with Ajax. He's been injured, but when he was playing very well. So why do you think he dropped him?
Yeah, I think there's some, whether or not you feel it's right or wrong, I think there might be some non-football reasons kind of chucked in there as well, because the crowd was not very friendly to Mr. Henderson ever since he decided to go to Saudi. And like I say, I don't want to get into it too much, but he upset a lot of people, a lot of gay rights people and stuff like that. So he's done himself no favours when it comes to endearing himself to the English public. Now, I'm not saying that's the only reason. I'm saying it's certainly contributed. Plus the fact, obviously, that he is getting on a bit and stuff like that. And he did play half the season in the Saudi league, which is not of any kind of value. But as you say, he did play the other half in Ajax. But I understand why he's dropped him. I'm not upset about it. I think you'll find that most fans, maybe other than some Liverpool fans, maybe who are upset that he's not there. To be honest with you, Dermo. So.
Philip, there's the goalkeeper and the defenders. What's your thoughts on them? Any players you're surprised to see in there? Any players you thought that wouldn't be in that he has included?
I don't know what Ramsdale's doing. He can't even get a reserve for a game for Arsenal at the minute. So
that shows our lack of depth.
There's a lack of depth in goalkeeping, is for sure.
Yeah.
The defenders, I mean, there's more than enough talent there. That's a good set of defensive. Okay, I say a few of them will drop out.
We've got a problem with fullbacks, Phil. Massive problem with fullbacks.
When you've got Kyle Walker and you've got who else have you got there? Yeah, there's not really Konza. Trippier and Walker, but they're both well in their 30s, those two, you know. And that's the reason I don't think Jordan Henderson can have any complaints have been left out. There are better young players coming up behind him, and that's why he's gone for youth, and he's quite right to, I think. But that could be the fullbacks could be a problem there. But I mean, sure, like it's
Luke Shaw's probably not going to make it, so he probably won't make it because of his injury. So that makes it even worse. We really have lack of fullbacks in his team.
Harry Maguire, Philip, are you surprised he's been picked?
No, not a bit. No, he was actually one of United's best players coming to that end of the season. There, no. I think Harry Maguire gets a raw deal off a lot of people. I think he's a decent player. I mean,
Southgate loves him as well.
He's got the turning speed of the Titanic. Apart from that, he's a decent defender.
Now, the midfields and the forwards, you've got Trent Alexander, you've got Conor Gallagher at Tottenham. He's been linked with Tottenham, and we're going to talk a bit about Poch because that did break the other night when I couldn't get on. Thank you to Colin for doing that with you, Tequila, as well. Me and Philip, we are going to talk a bit about that. We've got Curtis Jones, we've got Mainu, who's and his maiden season been picked for the 33. We've got the traitor, he's there, who should not be there. And Adam Wharton, who came from Blackburn to Palace, very good player. And then up front, you've got Jude Bellingham, you've got Bowen, you've got Phil Foden, you've got Ivan Toney, again linked with Tottenham, Ollie Watkins, Saka, Harry Kane, of course, the man needs no introduction. Philip, look at the midfield, right? Are you surprised by, like, for Mainu and Wharton to be picked up, to be given? Are you surprised they've been picked for this 33?
Yeah, they've made the 33. Whether they make the 26 is another day's work. I'd say at least one of them will be in the 26. I thought Trent Alexander-Arnold always struck me as being a fullback rather than a midfield.
No, he's played in midfield.
I know that. But I'm just saying, but I know more. Maybe he's changed lately, but I always remember him as a fullback.
He plays in midfield.
That's in the side of the midfield. That's pretty good. I mean, look at the forwards then. But look at the forwards. You're including midfielders there, like Foden, Grealish, Gordon, Maddison, Cole Palmer. So the England are very, very strong going forward. That's one thing I will say. They are lethal going forward.
They put Bellingham as well as a forward, and I was
he's more a midfielder, you know. But even he's an attacking midfielder. He's an offensive midfielder.
Yeah. So right, Tequila, is there any people that I want you to take out the players from the whole squad. I want you to trim it down to 26. So go on.
Okay.
So, and you as well, Philip. So you two
Start
double
at the beginning,
goalkeepers.
Okay. The keepers, I've gone for 3 keepers: Pickford, Henderson, and Ramsgate.
Right. Philip, who are you going for your keepers?
Henderson, Pickford, and Trafford. I'm leaving Ramsdale out purely because I'm biased.
Yeah. So so that's one. So you got 31.
That's one gone. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Defenders.
My centre backs, I've gone for Maguire, Stones, Dunk, and Braithwaite. The full-backs, the left-backs, I've gone for Trippier, Shaw, if fit, if he's fit. And the right-backs, I've gone for Walker. And I've actually put Arnold as the secondary right-back because we suffer so much in that area. And I know that he can play there. Even defensively, he might be suspect, but we really struggle with right-backs. You can play Konza there, I suppose. But I've put Arnold as the right-back.
Philip, who would you pick for your defenders?
The ones I would leave out, Dunk, Gomez, and I think Quanta, maybe Stones. I think we've plenty of defenders there. Like Braithwaite's good, Gomez, Guehi, Maguire, Shaw, maybe Stone. Leave Stones in, Trippier and Walker. A little bit, maybe the fullbacks are a little bit of a concern there. All right.
Yeah.
But too much to pick from.
Yeah, midfielders. Where are you going with, Philip?
Okay.
I leave out Curtis Jones and leave out Adam Wharton. I don't think he's experienced. And Kobe Minu will probably get a gig because of the way he's played for United.
Tequila, where are you going with your midfield?
Centre midfielders, I put for Rice, Gallagher, Jones, and Mainu. Attacking midfielders, I put Bellingham, Maddison, and Cole Palmer.
So how many is that left now?
I don't know.
On my list, I've got 4 wingers and 3 strikers on my list left to go.
So how many's got to go then? How many more?
Well, you had 33. You got to trim it down to 26.
Seven gone. Right, I have about 5 gone already. Ooh. Let me see. Out of those forwards, I think I'd love to leave out
Saka.
I'd love to, but he won't.
Right.
So that is tough.
Bowen.
That's a very, very tough. No, Bowen. Yeah, I think Bowen. I mean, Eze's got to go. He's on fire for Palace at the minute. And Cole Palmer has to go. Maddison has to go purely because he's plays for Spurs. And I'd say one of Ivan Toney or Ollie Watkins to be left out. I couldn't make my mind up which one. I wouldn't put a bet on it, you know.
Okay. Well, there you go. We've lost another subscriber. That's great. Why did he? Is this YouTube playing around, or is this people actually leaving us?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. It's very. I'm going to take that down because it's very. It's very disheartening.
Especially when it's live. Yeah.
Yeah. We've got Jared. So James Madison will be dumped.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Maybe.
Somehow. Anyway.
Bill up to Peter. Terry White saying no Oliver skipping that England midfield. He's smiling.
He was close.
Forget about Tony and Spurs connection. His wage demands are in excess of 300,000 a week. Levy won't pay him or anywhere else. Look, I'm going to say something now, okay? And I don't care what anyone says, chat or anywhere. These Tony links are strong. He's not on 300 grand a week at Brentford. And I don't know where
that's what he's looking for, though, isn't it? He's looking for 300
No,
grand
that's
a week.
not what he's looking for. This is what gets me. All these people, all these journalists have to make up some story. And it really annoys me because when we try to give the proper news, when we're getting it from the proper places, do you know what I mean, guys? It's sort of, well, you want 300 grand. Ivan Toney's not worth 300 grand a week.
Nobody's worth 300 grand a week. Nobody's worth it.
True.
Bellingham probably.
Well, very few. Very few.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
Yeah. Now, this is a player we're also eyeing up. I got this today. Spurs are eyeing up Boniface.
Boniface.
He's a 23-year-old from, I think he's Bayern. Yeah, he is from Bayern Leverkusen. And the Europa League, 8 matches, 5 goals, 1 assist, 1 yellow card. Philip, would you like him at Spurs?
I've seen very little of him. Is this the guy? The picture's a bit misleading. Did he play with a blonde top on his hair there recently?
Yeah.
He's been injured for a lot of the season, and they're kind of easing him back there towards the end. He looks to me, he looks good, but to me, he looked a wee bit of a lumbering centre forward, not much pace. Now, I could be wrong on that. It's just the games that I saw him in. He didn't look to have too much pace. I think we could probably do maybe a little bit better, but I'll trust Ange's judgment. If he wants him, I'm happily take him. You know,
Tequila, what you reckon?
Yeah, I kind of agree with Philip. It's kind of like I think he's a good player, but it's just like, shouldn't we? If Andrew really wants to be going higher, like he says he does, then I think we need to be looking maybe a bit of a higher bracket. If I'm honest.
Like he fits the age profile, 23 years of age. That's absolutely perfect, you know?
Yeah.
He does fit the age profile. And also, because we have got other news as well, because West Ham appointed their new manager this morning as well, the former Real Madrid.
Why did he leave Wolves? Why did he walk away from last season? That's never been really explained.
I don't know whether that has been explained or not, Philip, but is it good for West Ham, do you think?
Who cares?
Yeah, but Philip...
I'll be flipping there. He's a decent manager, right? He's decent, but I mean, I think David Moyes did a great job at West Ham. He won them a trophy. He got them into mid. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why the fans took a set on him and got rid of him. It's fan power again, but David Moyes can walk away from there with his head held high. And I was sorry to see last weekend when they got beat by Man City and there was a total pitch invasion at the end. He never got the chance to sort of say goodbye to the West Ham fans. Although maybe if he went down, he would have been giving them the finger anyway. But, it was just one of those things. But he'll be back. He'll manage somewhere else.
Yeah. Look, for me, could he end up at Chelsea?
No.
Well, Moyes?
No.
You never know. Bowley might look at him and think, oh, he might do a good wild show. What do you reckon of the Poch sacking Philip very quickly, though? Are you surprised by it?
Poch, you should have listened to us 12 months ago and never gone near that shit club.
Yep, we warned him.
Really, we warned you this would happen. We thought he'd be gone by Christmas. He lasted longer than that. I don't know. He wins 5 games on the trot and gets sacked. He probably lost 5 games on the trot earlier on the season and was left sitting where he was. I just can't understand it. I mean, Todd Bowley has proved he cannot run a football club. But there's something going on in Chelsea that we're not fully aware of. There must be, because you don't sack a manager. It'd be like Spurs qualifying for Europe last Saturday and Daniel Levy saying, sorry, Ange, that's not good enough, you're gone. It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense.
No. I mean, look, apparently this was agreed months ago that he was going
So I believe. But then again, what were they having big chats for last week as if everything was hunky-dory,
Yeah. So do you think Poch should have said, well, feck you, I'm going then?
I think
was it all to do with money?
He wanted his payday, probably. So he wasn't going to rock the boat.
Well, I'm sure he had a huge severance payment built into his contract anyway. So no. I think it's a typical Chelsea, really.
Yeah.
They had a good manager, and I don't know how they've now not got a good manager. So
I'm just trying to remove something we don't need. How's that come in? Oh, okay. Hang on. Philip, can you... All right, I'm going to start you with this, Philip. Okay, this is Werner. So can you... I need to just sort something out in the background. But anyway, Tottenham Hotspur have deadline to make Timo Werner loan deal permanent and beefing up their attacking with new forward will be focused of a close season manager Postecoglou reveals. So I know you like Werner. So I want you to give we've got a couple of minutes of why we should sign Werner.
Because his pace is frightening. I know he's not a great target man or he sometimes forgets where the goal is, but he really frightens fullbacks with his pace going down the left wing. And I think he with a bit of playing with a decent midfield supplying him the ball, he might start scoring a few more goals. I think, listen, in the inflated transfer window at the minute, I think 17 million is a snip. And I think we could let Werner go back to Leipzig or wherever he comes from. And pay 50 million for a player who mightn't be half as good as him. So I just keep him for that type of money. What do you think, Tequila? Not as impressed as me, no.
I'm not. I'm trying to think. I tried to put my little logic hat on. I can understand why. I don't know how much wages he's on. I don't have the whole information. But the transfer fee is low, as you said.
Yeah.
That transfer fee doesn't get you anything anymore. So from that perspective, then there's no problem. But the only thing I'd worry about is if he's on high wages, will that affect us? I don't know. I'd have to know the whole. If he's on high wages, will that affect us getting somebody else? Do I think he's an okay player to bring off the bench, especially at the end of games? Yeah, because he's got that pace. But I don't think I want to see him starting. And would he be okay with that? I don't know. Would he at this point in his career, would he be okay?
All the extra matches we're going to have next season, we're guaranteed at least 8 matches in the Europa League, and possibly more. So I think the squad numbers are going to have to be increased. Or used an awful lot more than this season. So from that point of view, I think it'd be an ideal signing.
It is a player that divides the fan base, Philip. Some want to sign him, some
don't
don't
want. Listen, you can't win with a player like Werner.
It's just his finishing, that's all. If it's his finishing, that's the big concern.
I think getting him a pre-season under Ange, that might change.
Yeah. He can come along next season and start banging goals in for fun. Then we'll forget about all this, so it can happen. It can happen. Yeah. I go for him.
Yes, I go for him too. Tequila, yeah, and nay on that.
I'd go for him if the wages aren't an issue. If he's not on super wages, then.
Tottenham Hotspur and Manchester United are in the mix to sign Nice's John Clare to Daibo. According to Nice, Martin, that is I think it's a French paper over there. Now, the problem I have with this is Ratcliffe owns Nice. So, really and truly, there could be only one way club he'd be going to. So, is it...
we were after him last year, weren't we?
Pardon? Yeah, we were
after him last year, weren't we?
Yeah, but Ratcliffe owns Nice. So, is it a foregone conclusion that he's going to end up at United?
Depends whether he likes Ratcliffe or he's anything to do with Ratcliffe. He might think Ratcliffe's a prick. I might decide to go somewhere else.
That's true.
Could happen. I don't know enough about the player, to be honest. I know whether he's worth, but it's going to be another. That's 751 players who've been listed.
But
there'll probably be a load more.
I just want to know what your thoughts on that. If it's a defender, we need cover at the back.
I think there's probably better centre backs there than him that we could go for. That Branthwaite from Everton, I go for him before I go to this guy.
I love Braithwaite at Tottenham, by the way. Really would. Big up to Terry White. He says Timo literally finishes the biggest problem. Sorry, Philip. Biggest problem. You can count on him in a big game. I don't think so.
Count on him?
He's finishing.
But his assists are good. And his general backup play and tracking back is very good. If he could improve his finishing, he will be a very good asset to the club.
David says in signing Werner, it will signal Levy's total lack of want the Spurs to win the trophy. He just wants to pay out peanuts for players, thinking it will appease the supporters longer.
No,
I see where he's coming from.
I see where he's coming from, but I mean,
I don't agree with it either.
It's not. Werner's the fact that Werner's 17 million, right? That's what I would call a realistic transfer fee, right? And I mean, if he comes into the squad, he's not going to be. To me, he's not going to be a first team starter all the time. But he's a hell of a good player to have there if you need him for the last 20 minutes of a match or something like that, And appeasing supporters, I think after this transfer window, I don't think that's going to be an issue. I think we're going to make signings this summer that will satisfy even the most critical of Levy's detractors,
Please do hit the like button. Please do hit the notification bell as well. Please, let's get up there on our march to 2K. Big up to Side Dancer 83. Evening, everyone. Big up Side Dancer. Gerard saying Werner is a modern day Tony Daly of Aston Villa back in the day. That's a compliment. Well, it's
not really. No, I don't think it is actually. I think Tony Daly was a bit like Barndorf and 3-yard merchant. But anyway.
Terry says, I have a bad feeling Timo is getting sand.
I don't have a bad feeling. No.
Bowley and Levy are both the same, neither owners of their respective clubs, yet they are both running the back. Now, this I totally
David,
disagree.
that is wrong. That is wrong. How can you say that badly at the moment?
Now, look. You may have this saying, Philip, right? Tequila looks at it slightly different. So what I'm going to do, I want to hear Tequila's taking it, and then we get our taking it, because you see it a bit differently. Me and Philip think Levy is doing a good job if you look at off the field things. And Philip's been in the business world. Philip, you know more about this than I would, so you would know more about the financial workings of it. But I'll start with you, Philip, because you were starting. I agree with it and I don't agree with it. Do you know what I mean? I agree Bowley's an idiot, but I don't think
we all know that. Levy has made mistakes, big mistakes, terrible mistakes over the years, right? And we've been rightly been called out for it. But the problem with we give a dog a bad name, and it means you can never ever. Some people can never ever say a good word about him. Now that's ignoring all the work he's done over the new stadium, the training ground over the last few years. The fact that he's now got such income generating coming into the club that's making us one of the most financially solvent clubs there is. So he's got to be given some credit for that. But to say he's running it badly is not right, David. He mightn't be running it completely the way you'd like to see it run, but the figures speak for themselves. He's running a good ship there, a very good ship. Todd Bowley hasn't got a clue. I think everybody agrees with that. Even Chelsea fans would agree you're there.
Yeah.
Todd Bowley has made more mistakes in 2 years than Daniel Levy made in 22. And that's how bad he is. But Daniel Levy, give him a bit of credit. Next time he fucks up, we'll get on his back again. But the minute I don't think there's any reason to. No. If he doesn't back Ange during the transfer window, we'll get on his back. But he's going to back Ange, as we know. We've been told that.
Yeah. Tequila, you have your views on Levy. I look, me and Philip respect your views, and we respect your opinion, and we're like that on here. We respect everyone's opinion. So, do you get where Pitt David's coming from? Look, on the Bowley side of it, yeah, I do get it, because Bowley is an absolute idiot. He's playing Football Manager with a proper Premier League club.
Okay, so I am Levy out more than you guys are. But comparing Bowley to Levy, it's not really fair. Bowley's only been in the job 2 years. Levy's been there 24, 25 years. So you've got a much smaller sample size with Bowley. The thing is, the difference between Bowley and Levy, in my opinion, is that Levy is a very astute businessman. He's a very, very, very smart man. Don't anyone think that he's not. He is. It's just that my problem with Levy more than anything else, I think, is delegation. I think that maybe he's finally, hopefully, understanding that and letting football people do the football stuff. That's always been my biggest problem with him. Not about anything, not how he runs the club overall, but it's always been his delegation on football matters. That's always been my personal biggest problem with him. Yeah, he raises prices when he shouldn't, and we've all seen the blowback of that and stuff like that. But that's not just Daniel Levy, that's most clubs, right? So I'm trying to defend Levy as much as I can regarding what I think he does well. I just wish he would just keep out of anything football related, anything. Whereas Bowley seems a little bit like Bowley's a bit more gung-ho than Daniel Levy. Daniel Levy isn't gung-ho at all. Daniel Levy seems very reserved, very methodical in all the decisions he makes. Levy doesn't make that many mistakes. He's got his eye on the ball when it comes to the business world and financial world, definitely. Bowley, I know less about Bowley as well, so he just comes across as just a scattergun approach. He's the players that he's bought, all these players, he hasn't even thought about building a team. He's just bought a whole bunch of players, some of which might end up being good players, but with no identity regarding building a team. Scattergun approach, just buying every player, putting them on 8-year contracts. That's his approach. Levy is much more methodical. I just wish that Daniel would, I'm calling him Daniel Luck on first name basis.
Oh yeah. You're his best friend.
Yeah, I just wish he would just delegate and just keep his nose out of it. He seems unable to. In the past, he has seemed quite unable to. I would like to think that as the years go on, that maybe he's changed, and the summer will maybe be prove that or not. To be honest with you,
do you think that's a fair comment what Tequila's making, Philip? That it's delegation is the problem. Is that a fair argument to make about
when you think about it, with the number of people that have passed through the club in 20 years in that sort of underling position, there has been a lot of them, right? And they haven't lasted too long. So yeah, possibly. I mean, we don't know the full scale of who tells what to do. But yeah, I mean, it could be like he's obviously can't do it all himself, even though he gives the impression that he does. But yeah, it's a fair point. But I think it's reached a situation at the minute where I think that the executive board, if you like, the actual guys that are running the club at the minute would appear to know what they're doing. And we appear to be heading in the right direction that way. With the way, I'll use this Lucas Bergvall situation for an example, right? We fought Barcelona to sign that young lad, right? And I mean, let's face it, not many young lads would choose Tottenham over Barcelona. He did. It's because of the way we treated him, the way we expanded. We actually told him. We've done so much backing. I read this today now. There's a very good article in the Athletic about it, where Bergvall, they sat him down and went through his career in the nth degree. And they were saying, hang on, this is very impressive. They checked this guy out really well. Whereas Barcelona just showed him a tour of the stadium. So, there's things been done right behind the scenes that we might never ever get to hear of. Bergvall is one of them. And he is going to be a sensation when he comes in the summer.
Yeah. I just want to big up to Colin as well. I just want to bring up David's second point. And he's big up. Look, Scott, we are going to get to your comment in a minute. I've started. And as a player, I love Spurs. We'll get to that as well. And also, Gerard, we're going to start your comment because I want to get to that as well. But look, I want to say in this, okay, David, right? The money that Tottenham Hotspur Football Club and Enid make is the biggest percentage of that money will go into building that hotel and other properties in Joe Lewis. Right, let's get one thing straight here, okay? They had to build them as part of building the stadium. It was in the fucking contract.
The planning
they
commission.
wouldn't hang on, Dave, Philip, please. They had to build. They couldn't build the stadium without regenerating the area. It was part of the planning, part of the contract. So everyone's banging on about, Levy's building a hotel, Levy's building houses. It was part of the fucking contract. Why can't people not understand that? I've been in the building construction business all my life. When you go and build somewhere, you have to, when you're getting planning permission, you have to put certain things in planning permissions to build. He was building a stadium where White Hart Lane was. Tottenham needs regenerating. It's one of the parts of London that is so deprived. Philip, how many times have we walked down the high road and it's like walking back into the 1970s?
Yeah, it is. It needs a complete renovation. And
it was part of the contract to regenerate it. If they want to build a hotel, I couldn't care less. Why do we keep doing this, guys? Why do we keep banging the same drum? It's really getting on my nerves. It really pisses me off because we had a great season. We've got Ange in charge. We're moving places, but for some fans, it's all about a damn stupid hotel. Philip? Yeah, I mean, and partially that anything that's built there does not go into Joe Lewis's and Daniel Levy's portfolio. You think they own the properties themselves. They don't. They're owned by a company. They're owned by a company called ENIC, as we know that. So, I mean, David, I take your point. I appreciate it. I respect your points, but let's just keep let's not get fiction get in the way of fact here. And there's I think the hotel going up is going to bring much needed employment to the area. It's going to bring people that can go now and stay in the hotel the night before a match, which is brilliant, instead of having to travel half around London. So I think it's a huge addition to the area to have a big better hotel like that. And I mean, I was in Tottenham 2 weeks ago, and I can even see now things are improving now. I can see things being built around the area, around the ground. We've got a big Sainsbury's supermarket down under the ground as well, which wasn't there before. Things like that are slowly but surely improving the everyday life of the folks living in Tottenham. Look, I'm just so sick of this conversation every time, Philip. We look at, why does it keep going back to this, guys? Why do some fans keep going back to a stupid hotel? Or Joe Lewis has got nothing to do with the club. No, he doesn't. No. He's got nothing to do. His shares are in an independent thing? His lawyer probably has control of them at the moment, or maybe his family. But Joe Lewis hasn't. Joe Lewis is a convicted felon in America. But don't forget that now. So he's out of the situation. He's out of the scene altogether at Tottenham.
I think if you look at Colin Cross's comment, I think that That simplifies a lot, I think, of the
Yeah,
reasons
it does.
why.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we should be looking
I
forward.
agree with
We
that.
should be looking forward.
Yeah.
We should be looking forward, not backwards, I think, you know.
Look, that David's entitled to his opinion as much as anyone. We'll read them out, and it will make we would discuss them, and we would talk about it, and we will argue between ourselves and you in the chat. We would debate it, but we do appreciate his opinion. But you can keep. It's like. Would you agree, guys? It's like
there's a few comments that David's making about Spurs going to be given permission from authorities in the last 2 months. That was permission for a different. The initial planning permission with the ground was built, has been amended. The hotel that's been built now is not as big as the one that was originally planned, and that wasn't the change for. That was the permission that was granted. The original permission has been there for a number of years. No, let's get that right.
Yeah.
Can I just make a comment here about just on my talking about Bergvall?
Yeah.
What are you saying is incorrect? He had to choose between Barcelona and Tottenham. He chose Tottenham. So what's incorrect about that? I can't see anything correct. He's coming to Tottenham. He's signed for Tottenham. He's coming. He's bought an apartment near the training ground. He's moving his stuff over there in the next couple of weeks. So I don't know what I've done wrong there.
We've got Levy's Beach. Yeah, he did come in when in '91 with Alan Sugar, and Gerard makes a very good point there.
Dermot, he's not been on the board since 2001, so effectively he had no power till 2001.
No, can I just say we owe a lot to Alan Sugar. He saved the club, and that should be remembered, not just Levy. Exactly.
June 1991, that Spurs came within a few hours of going completely out of business. So thanks, Alan Sugar, for that.
Look, I've always said it, guys. Do you think was always going to take Tottenham 20 odd years to get back fully on their feet from going nearly bankrupt to where they are now?
Well, that's 30 years ago, Dylan. That's 33 years
30
ago.
30 years. Was it always going to take time?
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. No. But I mean, the financial thing can sort themselves out in 6 months. There's no reason why that would be the reason. No.
Yeah. We've got where's this say? Sorry, I'm a bit lost on the chat. Sorry, guys. Stephen says, I like Tottenham High Road as it is. Thanks.
Everyone to their own take. Yeah.
Stephen doesn't want Sainsbury's. Stephen doesn't want Sainsbury's down.
No, he doesn't want Sainsbury's down. Stephen, had Eltel got his hand on the club, do you think it would have been better, or would we be in non-league? Look, I think Terry Venables had his heart in the right place, to be fair to him.
Yeah.
He did save the club. That shouldn't be forgotten either.
He was a minor shareholder in the Sugar takeover.
Yeah, but
his stake, he had a minority stake in it.
Yeah, but he did save the club as well.
Absolutely.
That must not be forgotten.
But I think if you have to look in the purely hard-nosed business end of it, Alan Sugar is 10 times the businessman that Terry Venables was. Yeah. And I think I have to agree there. If Eltel had got his hands on the club, I don't think we'd be playing in the stadium we're playing in now, to be honest with you. That's all I'll say on it. Good and all as Eltel was, I don't think he would have had the vision or the finances to do what happened since.
This was the other part. It says Bergvall chose Spurs because he was promised first team wages and sub higher wages, higher agent commission, not because he was only shown the tour. Come
on! I only use that as a flippant comment. Of course, he was given a proper tour of the stadium and he was talked to and everything, but Tottenham went into greater depth with him, went into his history, went into his weaknesses, went into his strength, and that's why he picked Tottenham. So I apologise if I offended you. I didn't mean to. I was using the stadium tour as just one reason why Tottenham went into it more deeper than Barcelona did.
Right. I'm not going to bring up Dave's comment because I'm so sick of all this BS. We've had a good season. Can we not just enjoy that, for Christ's sake, and just see where we go? And we know what's happening in the summer. And if we buy the players, guys, that we're after, and if we get the players in Ange wants, and if we get players out that should be out, do you think really and truly a lot of people will stay quiet because Spurs have been doing well? And when Spurs win, there's no talk about Levy. When Spurs lose, there's all talk about Levy. So has that got something to do with that?
If we did the treble next season, right, there'd still be people complaining about Levy. That's just the way it is.
Yeah. It's just very sick. Tequila, one last thing on it, and then we're going to move on with the other news and the contracts. And talk of this from Scotty Two Boy about Kiega, who I love at Spurs, by the way. I think he's great at Celtic.
Good player.
Do you get sick of all this when we get to the summer? It's not even done anything yet, and we're getting all this out. Do you get pretty sick of it?
It's a difficult one because I really do my best to see both sides, and you can call it sitting on the fence or whatever. Not really.
Well, join me. The splinters are great.
Yeah, it's like I'm reading David Clark's comments, and I know exactly what he's feeling, and I do kind of know exactly where he's coming from because I felt it myself.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is really, and I hate to be so drastic about it, that he's not going anywhere. You can wish it as much as you want. He's not going anywhere unless we're all going to put our money together, all the Spurs stands, and come up with the 7 billion needed. The bottom line is that he's not going anywhere. So, what are your options other than to say, okay, so we need to work with him? And that's why I was very adamant for Poch to come back before we got Ange, because I just thought to myself, it doesn't matter if Poch is the best manager or not. He's just proven that he can get along with Levy and work within that system better than anyone else. That's what it is for me now. It's like, well, okay, you need to work with Levy because you're not getting him out.
Yeah. And I think also that we've had a good season, Philip, right? Where we are. We could have a great summer, which I think we will have. Should we be looking forward instead of looking that direction?
Of course. I mean, it's pointless. Tomorrow we can change. Yesterday we can't. Right? We can't do anything about what's happened in the past. We've defied the likes of Paul Merson, who said we'd be mid-table at best this season.
Exactly.
Right? We finished fifth, which is, I mean, let's face it, to get into the Europa League from where we were last season is a major achievement. Look at the teams that finished ahead of us last season. Manchester United and Newcastle are now well below us. Right? So we've made a lot of progress. We've started to play a brand of football that's getting to be exciting. I know we had some big hiccups, but that's to be expected in the first season in charge for a manager. As I keep saying, next season is the one I'm really, really going to judge Ange on. And I'm feeling with the right backing, with the right players coming in, we have got one hell of a very exciting season ahead of us. But that won't be enough for some people. I'm sorry. They'll just keep moaning and groaning. We've been 10 matches on the trot. There won't be a word out of them. When we lose to Brentford at home 4-0, and suddenly they're all coming out of the woodwork. And unfortunately, that's just the way it is.
Can I just say this? Right. I think a lot of this comes from, just my opinion, of course, is because we see, not only do we see our rivals who we've more or less lived in the shadow of for a long time now, we're seeing them winning all leagues. Even though, for a couple of years under Posh, we were the better team, but more often than not, we've lived in the shadow of Arsenal. So there's just so much. I think that's what makes it so bad, is that we see them spending all the monies on the Declan Rices, and I think we just wish to ourselves that why can't we have that? Why can't we do that? And the truth is that our biggest signing was in Dembele, and look what an absolute. I mean, if that would have gone well, maybe that would have said to Levy, you know what? Maybe it is worth me spending this money, but because it backfired in only Tottenham train wreck, if anything, it's going to push him back further to say, well, no, I'm never going to spend that money on a player again.
Also, we've never had a manager finish the whole season. Ange is the first manager to do that.
Yeah.
So maybe he will see something in Ange. Me and Philip have been told by multiple people what is happening. And so is Tequila, what's happening. And I believe that. And we've got to see what happens. Look, I just say,
I understand, Derma. I understand why they feel that way, but
I don't know what I don't, because it's the same old scraping over same ground again and again and again. It needs to stop.
I think it goes
I'm getting fed up with it.
There's two things. Like, I'm going back. I'm not going to mention the Manchester City game, only briefly on this, right? But what the fans did last week to me was inexcusable. Wanting your team to lose when we still had a chance of getting the Champions League, stop Arsenal winning the league. You either love Tottenham. I know we all hate Arsenal, but some people seem to hate Arsenal more than they love Tottenham. Which to me, I can't get my head around that at all. Just one other thing. You say we've been living in Arsenal's shadow. For 6 years, we finished ahead of them in the league. From 2017 to 2023, we were the main men in North London. And that's what we've got to aim for again next season. Arsenal finally got it right by lashing out and Rice, as you say. The manager finally got it right. Lego Man finally got it right. But watch out, lads. We're on your shoulder, and we will be there next season, over and above you.
Yeah. Big up to David as well. Big up, Cobber. Hope you're doing
Hi,
well.
David.
Now, guys, God, some chats do bring out good debates on this channel. It's actually quite good, actually. Well done, you, Tequila, for being balanced and I
try my best there, mate.
I know you did, Philip. Very impressed. I'm very impressed with that.
Yeah, no, it's well done. Well done. Yeah.
Well
Listen,
done.
there's no point in the three of us coming on here and agreeing on everything. That'd be boring.
No, just agreed, guys.
Yeah. You've got to have a bit of difference in opinion.
Even Colin Cross says it. And I look to the older fans. I look to fans who have been here, done it. And I know there's fans that don't love Levy. That's down to, but Colin says what you said, Tequila. Levy got his hands burnt with Tongay, so you can't blame him for not spending big.
It's not going to make him want to do it again, is it? Let's put it that way.
Exactly. And Matt says that David Clark, they sound underwhelming, but I take those pieces of news as sound bites unless they're actually look. There's a lot of people who we're going to be linked with. There's a lot of rumors who we're going to be linked with. So don't believe everything you read. I mean, I went through putting this show together. I read through a load of. I counted 35 players that we're linked with that we're never going to buy. Never going to buy.
That could be a hard team selection.
And the transfer window has not. And I have been told a lot of teams are trying to get the business done early before the start of the European Championships. So we're looking to start quickly. Yeah,
you know what? That's going to happen, Dermot, because if you're looking at player A, right, and he's 20 million now or 25 million now, he plays a Stormer in the European Championship. Suddenly he's up to 50 million. So that's why they want to do it early, you know?
Yeah. Players' contracts expiring. I found this little article in when I was doing today. We didn't go back. Sorry. Before we start on that, I do apologise. Scotty, but what do you guys think of Kia? I'd love him at Tottenham. He was suiting Ange's system.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, we'll take him and O'Reilly. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Now, me and Philip, we're massive Celtic fans, as you well know, as well as we're massive Spurs fans. We're massive Celtic fans as well. I refused to watch Celtic halfway through the season because of Brendan Rodgers. It was boring me to death. At one point, he actually did put me to sleep. That's how bad Brendan Rodgers was. Do you think Kyogo could do it in the Premier League, Philip? I think he could.
Well, then Angel known from the Japanese league. So, yeah, I mean, he could do. I mean, I don't want to offend the Celtic fans, but they're going to take half their team off them. But, he would be a good player at Spurs. Definitely would.
A little bit off topic here, guys. I saw Brendan Rodgers making some comments about how Celtic would do in the Premier League. He seems to think they'd finish in the top 6. I don't agree with that.
I'd say maybe 7th or 8th would be their limit. I don't think they'll be found out a little bit, as they have been in Europe, unfortunately. Celtic never do well in Europe because they're playing teams of a better standard than them. And that would be the same thing in the Premier. No, I'm not knocking Celtic by any means there, but that's just the way it is, you know.
It is. He also says, guys, I'm a cut a long story short. Spurs have got Kyogo and Diaz. Maybe next season. I know this for a fact. Well, if that is true, I'm already buzzing because I know what Kyogo. That for me is too great. See, look at them on YouTube. On the ranch Tequila, you will be.
Is Kyogo? I've heard a lot about. Is he good enough to lead the line for like a top 4 challenge, or is he more like we'll have him instead of Richarlison, but you still need to buy?
He's not a target man, though. He's not a target man.
It's not.
No, but he's a smaller stature, you know.
But he's got pace to burn, though.
Does he play him on the wing? Would he play him on the wing, or would he play him on?
You could play him out wide,
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah,
he comes in from the sides a lot, I think, you know.
I'd rather him than Werner, if I'm honest, for example. I'd rather take him.
If it comes to a choice, then that's probably what will happen. You know, you won't keep the two of them.
Can I just say, Dave's coming in with comments. He says, I'll bring it up. I remember us saying after Poch, let's move on, and Mourinho, let's move on. After the Garden Gnome, let's move on. Conte, let's move on. Then why we're going over ground and repeat. So in any press conference I've seen Ange, and you can back me up in this, guys, if you can, or maybe I've got it wrong. Maybe you can put me right. Every time he speaks about transfers, it's always been upbeat and positive, hasn't it?
Yeah. The only time he wasn't upbeat was after the Manchester City game, which was totally understandable. We don't have the. When Ange, at least when Ange speaks, you know exactly what he's saying. When Conte speaks, you need an interpreter to find, not only an interpreter, but someone to convert what he's saying into real English. You know, because he's spoken riddles most of the time. So we're going over old ground. Maybe we are, but press conferences are press conferences. Ange is a lot more. He's like a breath of fresh air compared to what Conte was.
Yeah.
And I mean, let's just give the guy what he needs. Give him the ammunition for next season, and let's watch us go.
I do you know what I look, David. I enjoy you in the chat. You always bring in decisive comments. You always bring in comments that make a good debate. He does, doesn't he, Philip? To be fair to him.
He does, yeah. Like we won't always agree with him. We disagree quite a lot, but that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
You know, nobody's right all the time.
Right. We've got Carson. Not with Rodgers in charge. They would. Yeah.
Rodgers. I mean, the Celtic fans would even tell you that the football they played this season was not a patch on what they played the last two seasons.
Yeah. David says, an example is Ange is asked a question at press conference. Next thing, all these targets come out. It's just BS rumours. 5 players in, 5 out. Bearing in mind homegrown as well. Yeah. Yeah, that is so true. Scotty Sport, Carl Simpson, facts, mate. Believe me, David says we will never close the gap of Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool with these players. They are being linked to us. Chelsea, Man United, Newcastle, only good coaching appointments away from beating. Look
again, that's been very disrespectful to Ange. You're saying that whoever comes in at Man City, Chelsea, and Newcastle will be better than Ange. How do you know? Chelsea and Manchester United have made an absolute balls of their managerial appointments recently. Newcastle, probably Eddie Howe's probably hanging on by his fingernails because let's face it, United lose on Saturday, Newcastle United win on Saturday, Newcastle out of Europe. And will that be enough to keep Eddie Howe's job? So, I don't agree. This is running Tottenham down again and again. You know, I mean, let's be positive for a change. Let's say we're going to be ahead of Arsenal and Liverpool. Liverpool have a new manager coming in. It's going to take him time to get sorted out. Arsenal, hopefully, they shot their bolt. They've reached their peak. Okay, Man City, we know no one's going to catch them anyway. But there's other teams there we can really, really go after, and Arsenal and Liverpool are 2 of them, and the other ones. Yeah.
Tequila. Look, you look at Man United. Ten Hag, absolute spent more money than Tottenham. Why are they struggling? You look at Man City with their charges. We don't know where that's going. You look at Chelsea. Bowley spent over $1 billion on transfers. Nowhere. I don't get it. I don't get that.
I think what David's saying, and at least in this last comment, I mean, if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But I think what he's meaning is that he thinks that Chelsea, Man United, and Newcastle have better teams than us, and the only thing that's letting them down is that they've got bad coaches. I don't think Eddie Howe's a bad coach, by the way. I don't think he's a bad coach.
I don't think so. I think he's the next. You're next England manager.
And Poch wasn't a bad coach. I mean, he got Chelsea 6 in the end, so his firing is kind of silly. I do kind of agree with Ten Hag. I do think he's not great. But, I mean, we'll never close the gap. Well, Arsenal, as Phil said not long ago, Arsenal were behind us a couple of years ago, so it can be done. The only difference is that we don't spend the money, the numbers of the money that those teams do. Liverpool's probably the closest one under Klopp. They, as we've gone over before, they had the finance to build the rebuild of their team by selling their more or less star player, which was Martinho, wasn't it? Was that his name? I forget.
I mean, he financed the Klopp era, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So now you can say, well, should we have done that with Kane? Maybe we should have. Maybe 2 years ago, not last year. Maybe 2 years ago, we should have. We should have sold Kane for 150 million when he had the extra contracts. Maybe we should have sold him to City when they came in for him. Maybe we should have pushed him and then used that money to rebuild, but we didn't, and that's it. Levy is never going to spend 120 million on the Declan Rice. I don't think I'll ever see that happening. I think it goes against everything that he personally believes in. He's a businessman. He believes in buying young, buying cheap, selling high. That's what he believes in. And you got to remember that it did work for a while under Bale, Modric for a while under Mitchell, definitely under Mitchell when he was running the scouting department. We unleashed gem after gem, so it can work. What happened is Mitchell left, and then we replaced him with, once again, as I said, delegation. We replaced him with lesser guys who started recommending worse and worse players, including Dembele. Yeah, it was Hitchin, wasn't it?
Yeah. Look,
so
you know,
so I'm just saying, it's just like that is how we've got to work. It can be done, of course, it can be done, but somewhere along the way, and maybe Levy lost his way regarding what his original idea was. And the Bales and the Modric just stopped appearing. We stopped buying the Bale and the Modrics when they were young, and started buying much. Obviously, he was recommended these players. I think Chris in the chat said, "Well, who Daniel is signing off on these players, but he's being recommended bad players. Where was the due diligence on Dembele? Yeah, he had the skills on the field. Did nobody go into his personal, what he was like as a character? Did nobody at all go into that stuff?
I've got a thing on Dembele.
Okay.
I was talking to Kuva the other day, and we come up with a solution. What you do, you don't pay Dembele in money.
In burgers. Yeah.
You pay him in McDonald's vouchers, and you tell him if you play a good game, you get a Happy Meal. If you get man of the match, you get a quarter pounder meal. Philip shaking his head here.
Come on, lads. Keep it real. Keep it real. Come on.
Well, you got to motivate the play. You got to motivate.
Yeah, I know we have. Listen, come on. Dembele is a serious issue for Tottenham. We're going to take a huge loss on him. A huge loss. You know, and I think talking about Happy Meals isn't going to help us.
Philip, it's a joke. It was only.
Oh, I know it is, but it's been a serious discussion on this. Listen, we got to get rid of him. That's basically, we've got to get rid of him. Whatever we get, we get him off the books.
But anyway. That we are going to get to, right? Contracts expiring. The contracts expiring at 2024 in January is Sigurdsson, Austin, and Werner.
He's gone anyway. He's gone.
He's gone anyway. I did this 2 days ago, Philip, so I know things have done a bit thing. Now, contracts expiring in 2025. Foster, Højbjerg, Lo Celso, Sonny, Reguilón, and Ben Davies. Now, you would expect Ben Davies to go in the summer. You expect Højbjerg and Lo Celso to go.
And Reguilón
as well. Now, you've got Dembele's contract ends in 2025. Joe Rodon probably will go to Leeds. Alfie Whiteman as well, contracts. So, Sonny, he's got a year left in his contract. What do we do with Sonny? This is the thing, isn't it? If you can forget all about the other players, because you know they're basically gone anyway. It's Sonny. What do you do, guys?
I think Sonny. I'd say this could be Sonny's last year at Tottenham. He'll be 10 years here in 25. I do, yeah. So no offense to that. I mean, I love him to bits, and he's still got a huge role to play. But I just feel unless he produces 23, 24 goals this season, he'll be 32, 33. I think he's just coming to the end of his shelf life at Tottenham, and he'll be let go on a free transfer as a reward for his incredible service to the club. And that's why it's so important to recruit this season a potential replacement for Sonny. Make sure we get someone in that can step into his mantle. But I do think, all good things come to an end, like Harry Kane last season. I think the same thing's going to happen with Sonny next year.
I like this from Terry, right? Players here, guys, would you agree with them? Any that Gimmes could be, he is one of the players Spurs are looking at, by the way. Eze, Anderson, and I can't pronounce the first one for the life of me. What do you reckon, Philip and Tequila? Any of them players you want at Spurs?
Yeah. And I think it's actually quite realistic. I think Gimenez, we've got a chance of getting him.
Yeah.
I think Eze, will go to bigger pastures, I'm afraid to say. I think there'll be too many bigger clubs in for him. Califoria, I think that's how you pronounce it. I've heard a little bit about him. He's from the Italian league. Edison, like I say, I was very impressed with him in the Europa Cup final. But because he just had a really good performance, you wonder now if we maybe missed our boat because he might now be attracting bigger fish, so to speak. So I would be if I was Levy or whoever does the transfers, I'd be, let's get this guy right now. Let's go right now and get this guy because I think the bigger club's going to be in for him. I can see us getting two out of that list that was put up. I can see us two of them.
I can, and I know Gimenez is actually one we're seriously looking at. So that could happen. Philip, Some of the young players got to go last night.
Therese was very good, actually. Yeah.
Can you see them being promoted to first team players next season?
Well, I think we've got a really, really good, like the under-21s are playing the final of their league against Sunderland on Sunday. We've got the likes of Jamie Donnelly, who was on the Australian tour. Therese Hall, he'd be playing. He was on the Australian tour as well. We've got the likes of Dorrington coming through. We've got a really, really good squad of academy players at the minute. So yes, some of them will make a breakthrough. Mikey Moore has made it at 16 years of age. So this is what I love to see. Although I'm not an advocate of bringing 3 or 4 of them in together. Bring them in gradually, one by one, and see what they can do. And I think the future is we're going to have players coming through that can really, really do a job for the first team over the next couple of years.
I think Donnelly's got a lot of. I think Donnelly might be the one that might break.
And Will Lancashire as well. I've been watching a lot of the underage teams now, and there's some really, really good players. And they've got a decent goalkeeper as well in Luca Gunter.
Yeah.
So it's the talent there, real talent.
Yeah. I like Carl Simpson. I tell you what, Don Belly must do a very good interview.
Yeah.
Big up to them. Right now, contracts expiring in 2026. Brian Hill, which I think he'll go this summer.
Yeah.
Bentancur, Basuma. Now, Basuma for me, Philip, and Emerson, what Basuma for me, Philip, is if we get a good offer for him, for what I'm hearing, in the summer, he could well go. Now,
I don't want him to, but if he goes, he goes, but I'd rather keep him.
What would you take for him, guys? What would you say would be a fair offer? What did we pay for him? 28, was it?
Yeah. I look at 45 million.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think he had a rough time after the Luton sending off. He's had malaria this season as well, which can debilitate you. Something shocking.
Very good point.
So let's see how if he goes, he goes. But he wouldn't be top on my list to sell. There's a lot of players on the transfer list ahead of him. Brian Hill's going to go definitely.
Yeah. Emerson
Royale, I think, is going to go to Italy for about 25 million.
Yeah.
So he's going to go as well.
Yeah.
So David says he'll go for Francisco. That is a very good. I've seen a lot of this Porto player. He is a great little number 9. He's a great number 9. I would say, get him in. But that's a good pick. And then what about Lookman as well on the wing, guys, from Christopher Inshaw? Big up, Christopher.
One game doesn't make a player. Like I don't think there'll be. His transfer fee probably just doubled after last night, but I don't think he's one for Tottenham. I really don't.
I think Meta Football TV's probably hit the nail on the head. Don Belly has almost given up on his career, not because he hasn't got the skill, but possibly because he hasn't got the sustained nutrient he needs to make him believe in himself. And that is the point of it.
It is. I think he's probably Don Belly's his own worst enemy. Really, like he needs someone to put his arm around him and guide him the right way. He's been probably listening to people that aren't all for his best interests, and he's now turned into a fat slob, basically playing football.
Now, contracts expiring in 2027. Skip, Richarlison, Romero, and Scarlett. Now, Richarlison, Skip, probably out of that 4 would go. Do you think? And Jed Spence as well?
The Carlson apparently is part of the plans for next season. If he goes again, as long as we replace him, fair enough. But I have a feeling he'll still be there. Skip, I think, could go, and Romero ain't going anywhere, and neither is Scarlett.
No. So Skippy out, and Jed Spence as well. He'll be going to Genoa.
Yeah, Jed Spence. He'll be going to Genoa. Yeah.
Jed Spence definitely is gone.
And then the contracts, of course, expire in 2028.
That's miles ahead. Some of them 2030.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about the 2028.
Don't worry about any of them now, to be honest.
Solomon. There's been a lot of talk. Solomon could go this summer. After getting him for nothing, there's been a few whispers he could be gone.
I hope not. I like the look of him for what we saw of him.
The Shakhtar Donetsk won't be happy, will they?
No.
Shakhtar Donetsk are looking for a sell-on. They're looking for a percentage of the sell-on. We're not playing ball with them. But again, he hasn't had a chance to prove himself. So hope he stays.
David says, I say about Son next season, he fights for his place when the left wing with a quality left-sided winger. We should buy. We do need a left winger, though, don't we, Philip? That's
what I'm saying. Like, if we can recruit properly this season, that'll allow Son to leave at the end of the next season.
I don't know. Do you not think we'll just keep Son? He'll be the kind of player that stays with us till he's 35, but
maybe
we'll just get less and less.
But then again, if he thinks he wants to go back to Korea to finish his career, which he probably will, then I'd say they'll probably let him go.
Do you know, Colin makes a very good point. Sonny brings in too much money to sell. That's a very good point as well, by the way.
But it has to end sometime, though. And what's more advantage, taking a player who's past his prime or selling a few shirts? What's more important?
Yeah. Tequila, Meta Football says Anderson, who's going to play next?
I understand why Chris is saying that. As far as I'm concerned, actually, no, I've actually liked him for quite a while. So it wasn't actually based on last night. But what he is right about is that his reputation is going to skyrocket after that. That's what I mean by the transfer fee is now. We should have gone for him earlier, because now if we do go in for him, he's going to be an extra 20 million just or so. So he's right about that. That he's going to be his reputation has grown, so it's going to cost us a lot more. We should have gone for him. We were linked to him again. We were linked to him in January, I think. So
yeah,
there we are.
Carl Simpson said they could see Eze and City, but especially what happened with Paqueta today. Now, Philip, you told me about this earlier. I was trying to bring it in. I was about to bring it in. So, do you want to give us the latest on that? Because
Lewis Paqueta of West Ham has now become the latest player to fall foul of the anti-betting. He's been accused of deliberately getting himself booked in 4 games against. Now, these may spread over a couple of seasons because Leicester, Villa, Leeds, and Bournemouth were the matches that he got booked in. And the charge says, in order for one or more persons to profiteer from betting. So in other words, he probably told his mates, I'll get booked against Villa, I'll get booked against Bournemouth, put a bet on me for that and make a few bob. And that's what's happened. He's been found out and he has got till the 2nd of June to answer the query to the FA. He'll get a ban. He'll get a ban if he's found guilty. That's for sure.
Yeah. David says, and Ali goes latest term. He spoke about Burville, such a problem. There's an article. I see you put the article in the chat as well.
that article is real. It's a brilliant article by a new guy called Jay Harris, who's taken over writing about Tottenham for the Athletic. He went out to Stockholm last week to talk to, as did Ali Golden. This is a more in-depth article where he talked to his parents and everything. And he mentions the Barcelona thing and the reason they gave for not going to Barcelona. But we can read that. You can make your own mind up on that. But I'm really, of all the players that have come into Tottenham recently, he's the one I'm going to really be watching.
Yeah. We've got here Scotty, David Clark. Some won't be able to play. Abbott Tequila was another one. He played well yesterday, what I saw as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had a good game.
Madison, Bentancur, and Ederson would be quite the midfield.
It is true. It's like all of a sudden, Atalanta's players are all worth like 20% more than they were overnight.
Spurs are in for Hudson Oddy. He plays for Forest, I think, doesn't he?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Phillips was impressive, says David as well. David, did you go to the game? Let us know. Did you go to the match, or did you watch it on telly? Let us know.
Some crowd, 78,500 people at a friendly match.
Tottenham Hotspur, Paul says, were excellent last night. For what I saw, the highlights they were.
Yeah,
my Wi-Fi went. I couldn't even see the game, and I was so disappointed, Philip. You and me were going to do a watch-along, weren't we?
Yeah. Well, I got to see the first half. I didn't see the second, but I saw the penalty shootout. And I switched on my TV to see Brian Hill missing the penalty.
I felt so sorry for Brian Hill last night. I really did.
But the rest of the penalties were brilliant for both teams. Really, really good.
Carl says, I want Bentancur to stay, but it depends on where we are at the end of next season.
He'll stay.
Yeah.
He'll stay.
Now, Colin, you're a man after my own heart. You rarely are. He says, Johnson has done more in one season than Gill. Can I just say, he's ended up with one of the highest assists this season.
10, isn't it?
10 assists, yeah.
Now, can you please tell me, why is everyone on my back? Because I think Brennan Johnson is going to be the next big thing. That just states it for itself.
I've got theories, don't I? I can't tell you for sure.
Have you? Well, I want to hear your theories. Come on, Tequila. Let's get them with it. Come on.
Okay.
Come on, hit me with it.
One of the theories is that he only does it against the bottom half teams.
Right.
That's the theory. That against the big team, against the big teams, that he doesn't show up.
Give him time. Gareth Bale did exactly the same thing. He was 25 matches before he played in the winning Tottenham team. We think he was jinxed. He was jinxing the club.
Yeah, I remember.
So I give Johnson plenty of time. He'll be there.
Now, Tequila, I'm a bit of a betting man. I like the odd bet now and again. Right? I bet you €5. Right? I told you I was a big betting man.
That's big stakes, don't I?
Yeah, €5 that if you pick one player and I pick Johnson, that he will score more goals than the player you pick in the same position
on the
next
wing
season on the wing.
See, it's not even particularly my theory; it's theories I've heard. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but if you the offer's there, and also I've got the latest odds I was told today about the betting for the teams who are going to win the league and go get relegated. Man City's odds, Philip. What do you reckon their odds are?
I'd say probably 2-1 on or something like that.
Right, the odds on to win the league. What do you think the odds are for going down?
500-1.
Tequila?
Yeah, about 400-1. Yeah,
25-1.
What?
That is the odds. That 25-1. That is the odds. I was told this today that Man City odds are 25-1 to go down.
Oh, that's not going to happen anyway. Well, hang on. Hold on. Not go down physically on the football pitch, but go down relegated by the points deduction.
Yes,
quite possibly.
That's the points I'm making.
Yes. Yeah.
25-1 is still not.
Colin rang me today. Colin rang me today. He put a tenner on it.
It's still not. It's still not very confident that anything's going to be done, because if they were, that'd be more like 2 or 3-1 if thought they were going to be found guilty.
Yeah, I tell you one thing. I'm sticking a tenner on it. You never know. There's my tip for next season. Stick a tenner on Man City going down to 25-1.
You'll probably find there'll be a little asterisk beside the bet. Purely on football matches only, not disciplinary. You know, so
they won't honour that. They won't honour it. You're going.
I want you to pick a player. Pick one player in the same position as Johnson. We'll have a little €5 bet. And I'm going to back my man Johnson. So you and Philip as well. You're involved in this, Philip, as well. We'll put €15 on the table, €5 each, in the middle of the table.
So it's got to be a right winger then.
It's got to be a Spurs player or any. A Spurs player or any.
A Spurs player.
Yeah. Okay, any player. You can pick
any player. That's too wide. Keep it Spurs. Keep it the Spurs.
Spurs player. But Johnson will score more goals to any you two Spurs players that you two pick.
Can it be any winger, or has it got to be on the right winger?
No, it could be any winger.
Okay, Son then. I bet you Son scores.
So I'm going for Son as well. So.
See, you two are just that's just not.
Okay.
You said it could be any. You said it could be any Spurs player.
I'll change it. I'll go for who will I go for? I will go for McAllison. He plays out in the wing as well.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair enough. Tequila.
I'm going for Son.
Okay, fair enough. There we go. There's our early season bet for next season. That should be fun. Colin's got my back. You see.
Madison,
anyway,
Carl Simpson's put Madison. Do you class him as a winger? He's an attacking midfielder.
He did play in the wing for Leicester, actually. He did play in the wing. Daniel Field says we've got a great young side coming in from the horizon. That hole looks great. It does. David said Hill was so underwhelming. We do need a squad. Yeah, we do.
That's true.
You mean Everton? Look, man, no.
No, I don't think so. Good know as he was last night.
No. Terry White, Hill would fight. See, Brian Hill for me thrives in La Liga.
Yeah.
It's a different pace of football for me.
Yeah.
Benton Cole won't be sold. No, he won't be sold. Don Belly on his day, no one has got his skills but the wrong mindset.
Sure, yeah.
Did you ever see in that documentary Tottenham did with Amazon, Daniel Levy and somebody talking to him? And he was in his first season. Yeah, it was in his first season, and he looked as depressed as a duck. Yeah. He really did.
Sorry, Dermot?
I think that's an issue with him as well, you know.
Stop looking at them funny websites you got on your other computer, Tequila. Behave yourself.
Hey, Pornhub's busy.
See that? Yeah, this is why he's got his camera off, by the way, as well.
You don't want to know what I'm wearing, Dermot. I'm just here.
No, we're not going down that road. No. Richarlison has to be sold. He's not the player to win Spurs. I don't know.
I mean, I agree, but I think he can be a backup. I don't want him as he's the backup to the main guy.
He wants to stay, so you know.
Yeah, Send us an email, Scotty. We'll sort you out something during the summer. We'll get you on a panel with myself, Tequila as well. So send us an email and we'll sort that out for you.
Aren't you going to do are you going to do a member show? So if he picks up a membership, then you can
well, Tequila, do you want to tell people how they can join our member show starting next week, next Friday?
Yeah, next Friday. Just grab yourself a membership, guys. It's how much is that, mate? 99p, isn't it?
99 starts at 99 cents,
9p
all the way
goes
up to $4.99. We've got Colin. We read that. Sorry. I'm getting lost in the chat, guys. So much in the chat.
Yeah.
We've got Edison. Edison won't leave Atlanta now. He will do.
No.
Andrew, speak to him.
They're in the Champions League now, so.
Yeah. If Solomon is healthy, I think we should keep him around for another season. Decent squad player. Let Timo go. David is saying we can't get rid of Hill now with his ability. Do you know what, David? Do you know what?
Yeah, he's right.
I think we agree with you on this one. We do agree with you, Philip. And can I just say, David, we do respect your opinion, don't we, Philip? I just want to get this out here because I don't want him to think that we were picking him earlier. We didn't.
No,
it was a great debate he started and a great talk he started. So, fair play, Philip, sorry.
Absolutely, yeah. No, we'll agree to disagree on some things. We'll agree on others. So that's the way it is.
As long as we treat each other with respect, I don't see there's any problem disagreeing with people.
That's it.
Exactly.
Bergville will 100% be Spurs first team squad next season.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Philip. I watched it. I watched it at home on TV. Says was Australian free to air. Wow.
Jeez,
I'm not sharing them, David. David sure has been naughty in the chat.
We're giving you Diazan K got a Matt O'Reilly for 60 to 80 million. It's basically for sell on clauses that Celtic are so good at the moment.
Interesting.
That'd be interesting. I will ask our source about that. I will put that out there. Dermot is about to show everyone his Richarlison style Johnson tattoo. P.S. I have always backed Johnson. I know you have. I haven't got a tattoo for him
yet.
I got one tattoo I regret getting, but I haven't got his tattoo. Do you want to read some of these out, Philip? Sorry.
Yeah, okay. Meta football. We should be taking into consideration that we'll be setting up the same way next season. If so, if someone like Edison signs, you need someone next to him in the mid. If not, then it's all conjecture.
Indeed. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. I mean, we can't really see what the lineup's going to be until the players come in. Plus, and also equally important, the players that leave. So, we know what sort of good squad we've got for next season. There is some players that need to go from the club. Really do need to go.
We've got David saying Johnson came in the new system, no preseason, 17 score involvements. Give the lad a break, I reckon.
Yeah, exactly.
To right. But Bergville will take his place next season. Points, yes. 115 punishment gets sorted next season. City will get off. City are not getting off. Can I just put this out here now? I was speaking to somebody over the weekend, guys. You know who I'm talking about, Philip, without naming names. And we were told they're done for. Weren't we? Did I get that right? Or did I pick that right?
The evidence is overwhelming. Regardless of the hotshot lawyers they keep employing to delay things. No.
We've got Son. We've got, I'd rather be Man City than that animal Puff Daddy.
Well, that's P. Diddy, yeah. P. Diddy beat up the girlfriend.
P. Diddy, yeah. Donald Trump. Hang on. Sorry. I'm sorry, Philip. I forgot to do this earlier. Why didn't you remind me? I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, Philip. You should have told me. Where is it now?
Told you what?
Where is it now? Where have I put it? Here we go. I'm sorry, Philip. You should have told me. I was bringing you time me over the point with that. We all know Philip loves America, and we all know he loves Donald Trump.
He does. I love America. I actually love America.
Yeah, you love Donald Trump as well.
Well, no, I wouldn't go that far now, but anyway, carry on.
Well, Philip, you do have a lovely possession of Donald Trump, which...
Do you want me to show it again, do you?
Yeah.
We always want to see it.
Yeah, we always want to see it, Philip.
I'll just go off for a second, get it. It's only behind me here.
Big up there. Share with Tequila. Tequila got those dodgy channels. They're all talking about you, Tequila. That shows how far behind the chat I am. Kyogo will be top goal scorer next season. Nobody loves Ange more than me, but sorry, you'll never persuade me. Look, David, it's all about opinions. It's all about... Oh, look, Tequila, there he is. Look at him. Look at that.
That's great.
He reminds me of Don King. Yeah, Don King years ago used to stick his finger in the plug socket. He used to get his hair to stand up.
That's a toilet brush, isn't it?
Toilet brush,
that's Donald Trump. That's
Donald Trump
what
toilet
Philip
brush.
thinks of Donald Trump.
You can see the resemblance. It's good.
You can, yeah. Especially
that came all the way from New York. So it did. Anyway.
Anyway. And look, I was just saying to David, nobody loves Ange more than me, but sorry, you will never. And it's all about opinions, isn't it, Philip? And respect opinions as well.
And can I just add, Domo, as well? David, mate, it's not any of our jobs to persuade you on anything.
No, it's not.
It's just it's debating. It's not our jobs to persuade you to leave you in. I'm not leaving you in, and I can talk to Dermo. It's not our jobs to all persuade each other.
It's all right. Me and Tequila have big punch ups before the show, and Philip's. We do, don't we, Tequila? We're big.
Yeah, we're doing some Rocky and Creed stuff. We are. I mean,
we're like the Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. Oh, very quickly, the massive heavyweight fight the weekend. I don't know who you saw it. Congratulations to Usyk becoming undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, the first time in 25 years. Tyson Fury, I don't know, you're not a big boxing fan, Philip, so very quick, Tequila. Tyson Fury, he is taking the rematch. Does he win the rematch? Yes or no?
No, probably not. I don't think so. He was just making excuses, damn it. I didn't see all the fight. No, I saw some of the highlights, but I didn't watch all of it.
That's a good point there. Yeah.
I've been seeing this comic for a while.
That's a good one. Yeah. The glove fits.
Hope Burwell steps up. He would. Okay, we've got to do that. We've got to do that podcast on Gubu, Philip. We really do. Yeah. I'm so itching to do that. Big up to Luke Chapman, and we're going to finish up now, guys. We've been on now for an hour and then. So I've got to have
David, can I say 2 words to that comment there? 3 words. The Fourth Reich. Work that one out. Because that's what America will be if that guy gets back in.
Right. I'm going to say something now, Philip, which is you're going to probably hunt me down with another horse's head, number 75. But when he was in charge, business was done properly, though. Would there have been a war in Europe? Would there be if he was in charge? Just very quickly.
Yeah, of course there would. Absolutely.
Okay.
That fella, he thinks he can stop it on his own. Well, of course, he's so far up Vladimir Putin's ass. Maybe that might happen, but no, he wasn't not going to stop it. No. Everything Donald Trump
I overhear in
the
England,
absolute opposite will happen.
Oh,
if he says tomorrow is Friday, it's not Friday.
Yeah. So. Yeah. To count you in, Tequila, you got a general election.
I was about to say, because considering, we've got to worry about our one now. That would be great.
Yeah. I tell you, we are doing the general election night when the UK election. We are going to follow the results. So me and Tequila do that.
There's no chance Labour don't get in, Dermo.
Strange. It's a strange. Labour will walk it. It's a strange time to have it though during the European Football Championships. When you think about it.
Yeah, and also having it on Independence Day in America.
Independence Day is right. Yeah. But then again, Rishi Sunak does not get much right, does he? No.
I felt sorry for him yesterday in the pool.
That's a bit. He should have put an overcoat. Had someone with an umbrella over him. God Almighty!
Did you hear the music in the background? Labour's 97.
They were protesting in the background. Things can only get better.
And also, Philip, our country's done something quite remarkable yesterday. Spain and Norway.
And got absolutely pulled over the coals for it today, apparently. But fair dues to Ireland for recognising the Palestinian state.
Now,
it took a lot of balls to do it.
Yeah, Simon Harris now will call the general election in the next month.
No, he won't. He'll wait a while. But anyway, fair dues to them what they did anyway.
Yeah. So. Anyway,
hopefully, Meta Football. Hopefully, that's not true, Chris. 60 million for Rashford. What do you guys think?
No thanks. No, I think
no.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm going to disagree.
No, Dermo. No, please.
No, I am. I'm sorry. I'm Tyson Fury. I'm disagreeing with you. Run, rabbit, run. As he called the Usyk. He called him a little rabbit. I did love that when he does that. He reminds me of Muhammad Ali. He's a modern version of Muhammad Ali, right? But he is a gobshite. Tequila told me to said that, Tyson. So go after him. Usyk's a gentleman and Fury is a giant moaning dick. Go after Carl Simpson. Right. Where is it? Twitter are commentating that Spurs are willing to offer 60 million for Rashford.
No.
Ange will get Rashford playing like a Rolls Royce. Back my words. Philip? Before we go?
No, I don't think so. Let's face it, there's cheaper, younger players available that can do a job just as good.
Yeah. I think look, for me, he's coming. I think you do well. Things can only get wetter for soon.
That's true.
Yeah.
I watched it in the news last night, right? And there he was, right? And then the other, what's the other fella's name? The Labour leader.
Keir Starmer.
Yeah. And there he is, professional in a room, flags, and
he was at Gillingham. He was at Gillingham's ground today.
Was he?
Was he at Gilliam's? Okay.
Yeah.
Big up to Carlton. Big up to Scotty Boy. He says, "Bye guys, thanks for having me. Just state facts. I know what I've said for a fact, but how next season you will go, God, that Scottish guy. Look, I have no reason. I've already put the question towards my source, so we're not doubting you, but I'm just covering my thing. We've got Matt. It says I won't charge for all I do for the channel. Haha. Fair enough. Carl, I saw John Fury's career highlights. Geez, he is, David. United mention and Colin appears from nowhere. Look at that. You mentioned Rashford's name. Click your heels 3 times. It's in. Not a
he
chance.
just appears, doesn't he?
Yeah, he would leave United for 60 million. F that, says Rashford is apparently. Oh no!
Jeez, you can't even make the England squad for the Euros.
Yeah. Colin says, Philip, can you remember any player leaving United and getting better other than Ronaldo?
Not really. Not without looking into it. No.
Pogba.
Right.
No.
Colin says Starmer's such an
the first time.
I'm a massive Labour fan. Do you know what? I hope Labour. I sat there 5 years ago, and I live in Ireland, right? And I sat there. My missus helped. She helped get a few people in. I think it was one of them to be a TD. I'm looking at Mrs. Tron. She's ignoring me, and I would too. Oi, Mrs. Yeah, you, not the yeah. Who did you help get in? Was it TD or was it council? Councillor. That was it. Got that wrong. And she helped them get him in. Do you know what? I think Labour can win that election and will. And me and Tequila will do an election special. I've always wanted to do one of those. Carl Cullen watching same channel, Tequila. He is. And then we've got
probably
smash the likes and the sub if you haven't already. Thank you. We need to get back up where we were. Where you guys gone? YouTube, sort it out. You're mucking my channel library. And Carl Simpson says, Demo is clicking. That is risky. Yeah, it is. She's standing there now with a frying pan and a shield in one hand and a frying pan in the other.
Yeah.
It looks something like I might be going. I don't know if anybody watched or what was it? The name of that program. The King of the North.
Right.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that's me. I might not be here tomorrow. But guys, we are finishing off. Thank you so much. This went on longer than I thought it would. But it's always good crack. When me and Philip Tequila get together, we ramble. We're like the 3 wise men of the Tottenham community.
You've been gone for so long, Domo. The fans demand it.
I know. And I mean, yeah, I'm now going to go and play a bit of Transformers on my Xbox.
Good choice.
Yeah. War Cybertron, by the way. Tequila.
No, good choice. Those two are good.
Philip, we're back tomorrow. What are we on tomorrow? Is it podcast day tomorrow? Friday?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are we doing the Unholy Trinity or are you doing Cockerel Clock?
Oh, I don't know. Whatever you feel is more suitable for the occasion.
Well, let me leave it up to the people in the chat. Put in the comments, do you want the most unholiest 2 Irishmen, plus a man from Doncaster, plus Tequila, the most unholiest 4 men you've ever seen on YouTube? Or
the man from Doncaster is great.
Yeah. Colin's going to kill me. Or do you want the Cockerel Clock podcast? Let me know. Stephen Stephen Courtwright says, "Great show, lads. Love the thing, fecus." Yeah, no. It's actually in the dictionary, you know. That word, fecus.
Come here. Is there any Liverpool fans on here? So a great joke this evening. This guy is up before the firing squad, and he says to the guy who's leading the firing squad, "Any last requests?" He says, "Yeah, let Devin Nunes take the shot."
On that bombshell, any Liverpool fans, hang on. And Carl says Dermot will be playing with his Transformers, so the cock will cock. I mean,
He hasn't been caught. That's a long time ago. He was caught out with that.
Yeah,
well done,
I know. THFC Tila, you need the fourth man of the what's that, Philip? You read that?
Apocalypse. The apocalypse.
Yeah.
Need the fourth man of the apocalypse on, which will be the third Irishman.
Do you mean Big Dave?
Well, Colin's Irish, actually. Colin is Irish. Big Dave, I think, is still in his holidays. He hasn't let me know he's back
Okay.
yet. And yeah, big up to David as well. But please do pick up your memberships. Do hit the subscription. Do hit the notification bell. We're going to be back every day with news, views, and Philip on the move, and
Nice.
and Tequila saying what he's playing. Yeah, very funny, David. Very funny. I see what you're. I'm not reading it out, so you're not catching me out again. Listen, guys, thank you for a great Tequila. Plug where you want to go. Just hang on there for a minute, Philip. Do you have to hang on? Do you have to go, Philip?
Soon.
Well,
Soon.
You can shoot off then. We're
I'm getting the evils
and
here.
let you go.
Yeah, I'll chat to you tomorrow. Anyway,
All right,
good program, lads. Talk to you later. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Tequila, where can people find you, sir?
Obviously, guys, you can find me on the channel here with Dermo and Phil, talking about all the football and stuff like that. I've got my own little gaming channel, more of a gaming podcast channel, so it's not really me playing games yet. So it's just me and my mate, just two old veteran gamers, talking about the games industry and ups and downs and stuff like that. We're going to have a review coming out soon of The Witcher 3. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of that. One of our favourite games. So that's at theplaypouch.com or .com in YouTube, the Play Pouch. Yeah. So please give us a sub, guys. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dermot.
Well, listen, guys, thank you. Apologies for no streams the last few days. Do apologise.
No, it's your internet, dude. What can you do?
What can you do?
You're going to change internet providers, though? Like
I am. I'm going back to Sky.
Yeah.
I'm going to Sky tomorrow. You've had your chance. You've had 5 days and you're gone. On that bombshell, thank you so much for watching. We are back tomorrow night. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscription button. It really does help us. And hit that like button. It really helps us, guys. It helps with your algorithm. But whatever you're doing, enjoy the rest of your evening. Come on, you Spurs. As always, in Ange, we trust.
We trust.